The views and opinions presented in this media format don't reflect the views and opinions of Gracie NEPA as a whole. This broadcast is meant for entertainment purposes only and is the product of two idiots with microphones and far too much time on their hands. If you are easily offended, this podcast probably isn't for you. In addition, the content herein contains loud noises, adult humor, and language not suitable for children and most adults. Also, the opinions expressed herein are not intended for legal, medical, or financial advice. We are not experts, although we play them on TV. Void where prohibited. Batteries not included. No purchase necessary to win. Open to all legal residents 18 years or older in the continental U.S. Dealer participation may affect actual costs. Hosts are not responsible for personal items left in your car while listening to this or any other broadcast. This broadcast has zero cash value and should remain frozen until ready for use. Also, it should not be used by pregnant or nursing women and has been known to cause violent outbursts in lab animals. In case of ingestion, induce vomiting, and remember, these are professional drivers on a closed course. Do not attempt this at home. Serious penalty for early withdrawal and not a member of the FDIC.
All right, everybody, episode 5, and as you can see, the exaggeration of my demise is an internet rumor. Mini-Me is alive and well. I'm still kicking it. We were gold member.
We were slightly concerned when I started seeing pictures of Vern Troyer passed away. Until I read it, I thought it was you.
I thought it was me too.
Yeah,
I was like, what is this? I thought I woke up in heaven.
Celebrity doppelganger.
Yeah, that was it.
But R.I.P. Mini-Me.
I'm alive and well.
You're alive.
I'm alive and well. So,
well, you're alive.
yeah.
I don't know how well you are.
I'm physically adjusted, not mentally adjusted. The Mini-Me he's like one of those iconic movie like people. You know, you think of like Harrison Ford, you think of Han Solo. You think of Vern Troyer, you think of Mini-Me.
Absolutely.
There's like nothing other Mini-Me's ever done. I think he was in like Gremlins, or not Gremlins, Harry Potter. He was like a goblin in Harry Potter or something. I think so, yeah. Yeah, I think so. But I can't think of anything Vern Troyer's done besides maybe his home porno movie that he made with...
I remember him on the Surreal House, or whatever it was.
I don't even know what that is.
They did like a reality show where he was on it, and
yeah.
he used to get shit-faced drunk.
Did he?
Yeah, he was like pissing in the corner and stuff. It was great. Great television.
Drunk midgets. Can I say midgets?
Is he a midget?
I think I can.
He's a little person.
I'm a midget. I can say midget.
Yeah, you're one of them.
Yeah, I can say that. But so, what do we have on the table today? Or is there more on Vern Troyer?
No, that's
I think that's basically it on Vern Troyer. All right. We have UFC coming up, Saturday.
Fight Night 128. Lee Barboza, Frankie Edgar, Cub Swanson.
Yep. And there was a couple other crazy fights on the card that we definitely want to touch on.
Yeah.
We have the Kensai, Nicky Ryan.
Matthias.
I have thoughts on that.
Yep.
Geo Martinez, right? So I have some thoughts on that. And then I guess whatever craziness comes our way.
Did we cover at all with Floyd with the special rules talk?
No, we didn't. You want to start with that?
Yeah, let's
start with that.
Yeah.
Let's start with that.
Okay, so from what I understand and gather, that there was talks of Conor, Floyd in the octagon, no shoes, no takedowns, no knees, no elbows, no kicks.
Right.
But there's special clinch rules. So like kind of how Conor in that boxing match when Floyd ducked and turned, you know, he can do a little bit of damage from him.
Right.
Like that. What do you think?
I think it's they'll sell it. I think they'll sell it for sure, because they'll sell it simply from the avenue of the media craziness that will surround it. The technical fight, I have no interest in it. If you can't knee, elbow, kick, it's a boxing match in a cage.
Yeah.
It's a dirty boxing match. It's like pikey boxing.
Right. If they were going to make any type of special stipulations, they should have went with the 4-ounce gloves in a boxing ring last time.
Right.
If that was how it was going to be.
Right.
All boxing rules, but we'll take the gloves down as small as they can because that's what it is. Well, it's going to be 4-ounce gloves.
Right.
Which makes it interesting, but at this point, we cannot watch Conor waste another year or two
doing this,
fucking around with Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. I think we're done with that. Like, and if Floyd ain't gonna fucking shit, then get off the pot.
Right.
Don't talk Conor's name. Don't talk MMA if you're not gonna do MMA.
Yeah, and that's the way. Like, from a fight fan, that's the way I'm approaching this whole circus. From a entertainment perspective, I can't wait for the media junkets. I can't wait for it.
Okay, but what's bigger sell? I mean, maybe in the masses, but a bigger sell as far as hardcore fans, what him Khabib.
Well, yeah, hardcore fans would rather see Conor Khabib.
But I think
I'd rather see Conor anybody.
But I think most people are tired of Conor dabbling in not UFC.
Right.
I think even like you watch some mainstream guys covering, the only people they cover in MMA is Conor.
Right.
And they've talked about this, and some of the ESPN guys are even saying like, if you're not going to fight MMA and if you're not going to fight boxing, then we don't want to see it. But we definitely don't want to see another boxing match.
Right.
And Conor is wasting his talents because there's a lot of shit talk about him ducking and running and Floyd and boxing, but he has an extraordinary talent in mixed martial arts.
Absolutely.
And for him to fuck around with a fucking pillow fight boxing match, MMA in an octagon, it's just stupid, it's pointless, you're testing it too far. Like throwing the dolly and smashing windows, that's all fine and dandy. I can forgive you for that. I cannot forgive you if you're gonna take $60 off me to watch you and fucking Floyd Mayweather slap box. No fucking way.
No, it's of zero interest to me. Will I watch it? Sure, because we're gonna have to talk about it on the show. I'll watch it.
Yeah,
and that's how I'll get my money. But otherwise, I wouldn't bother watching the fight because I think it's just gonna be a rehashing of what happened in the boxing ring. Yeah, and maybe Floyd does.
I don't know.
Maybe Conor does a lot of damage in the clinch.
I think Conor will do better, a shitload better, especially 5-minute rounds. Right. To where if he can clip Floyd. Floyd's timing is going to be a little bit different because he's used to a 3-minute round. So his attacks and defense predicate off of his internal clock.
And I think too, you may give some edge. I don't want to take like all the to Conor. Give everything to Conor, but to say like, if Floyd hits you with 4-ounce gloves, it's going to hurt.
That's true too.
And he hit Conor a lot. He hit him a lot.
He did.
So. I don't think it's a secret that in that first fight, Floyd carried a lot of the early rounds just to make them interesting. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't.
But he boxes like that, though, because he said he doesn't watch film, so he takes the first round 2 or 3 to
really
your timing.
Right. And now that he knows what Conor's about, maybe he comes out and he hits him a little harder, a little sooner.
But
so, if... I'm not going to discount him. Yeah. Now, if it was an MMA fight, full rules.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, fuck that. Fuck all that. But like, all bullshit aside with Conor, all the hype, all the talk, all the Dana White sucking his ass, all the fighters hating on him, and whatever. To me, he is an extraordinary talent in MMA. Yeah. I think as a fighter, he kind of gets takes the back seat to the Conor hype, and people wanna shit on him because of his hype. Right. But to me, if you just watch the film, you have to be impressed on what he can do.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, this is a sport where there is a small window of opportunity. 20 years ago you could fight for 10, 15 years. There's not many guys now who fight for 10 years, 20 years. Most of their they may not effectively. Not effectively, right? Most people have a 5-year window to become a world champion. Yeah, Conor's became a world champion, but 2 years from now, 3 years from now, I'm going to say, what's his name? Arlovsky. Arlovsky was very similar to Conor in the fact he had all this talent, but the hype around him. It built, especially in his own country. And he started staying out late, and he started partying, and he was running with the crew, and and he went boom down. Yeah. He eventually came back up, but he never got to the heights of going.
Conor Arlovsky though, I don't know. I can't.
But you see, Conor's in that similar thing where he's going. He's out partying and he's out.
Well, yeah. The hype is taken over for sure.
Sure.
And that's a problem. But to me, that's why he needs to get back to what he does best, and that
fight MMA.
Yeah. Because, like I said, all bullshit aside, he is an extraordinary talent. The Eddie Alvarez fight, you cannot deny. Nobody does that to Eddie Alvarez.
No.
So. And Eddie Alvarez was the kryptonite that was going to kill him. Right. That's all I heard. You know what I mean? And you would think, okay, tough wrestler, good boxing, good chin. Yep. And I mean, he demolished him.
Completely dismantled.
So, but his lasting legacy as of right now is Floyd Mayweather him losing to a lackluster Floyd Mayweather, a 40-year-old Floyd
Right.
Mayweather. Like that's
And making $100 million.
right. Like the Diaz fight is now a backseat to that.
Right.
And now it's even a backseat to his antics,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
which is sad.
Yeah.
Because we need a guy like him to push the sport forward, and it's just a shame because we want to see the fights that we want to see. That's what MMA was great about. That's why UFC built its brand on. We're going to put the best fighters
yes.
against the best fighters.
Yep.
We're going to give you the fights you want to see, rather than what boxing does is they give you these fucking hand jobs forever. Like Deontay Wilder and Joshua, they're not going to fight for another fight or two because they can squeeze a little more juice out of some lower contenders.
Yep.
The UFC wasn't about that.
Right.
So we need to get back to that. And to me, the only fight that can and should be made with Conor or Khabib next is them. And whatever it takes to get it done.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Dana White needs to say,
Now, there's
listen,
reports coming out of Khabib's camp that the negotiations have started.
begun, for sure. But what does that negotiate mean? You know, they say, hey, you want to fight him? Sure. Do you want to, Conor might not even be answering his phone right now, so we don't know exactly what negotiations mean.
And the thing, I think people forget a lot about it is Conor's, he's a shrewd businessman.
Oh, yeah.
He's not just a dumb fighter. I mean, some of these guys are dumb fighters. Hey, you want to fight for $500? Yeah, I want to fight for $500.
Yeah.
He's a shrewd.
Yeah, well, you get a shiny belt, $500.
Right.
Deal.
He's a shrewd businessman. So he's not making these things uncalculated. He's not. This hype machine he's running isn't uncalculated or unregulated. Even throwing the dolly, I still believe that, and we talked about it.
Yeah.
It was. Hey, I'm gonna do this. Then when he got there, he got a little hyped and threw the dolly, but. The whole thing leading into it was a hype machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because honestly, you show up at an event like that, you're not going to throw punches with Khabib. Because there's too much security, there's too many... You know that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the drunk frat boy at the bar who's like, bro, I'm going to fight you.
Yeah. He don't want to fight.
He don't want to fight you.
He just wants to look like he wants to
look like he wants to fight you. And he knows if there's a punch thrown, it's going to be one punch. Because the bouncers are going to rush in and break it up.
Yeah.
And then he's going to go back and he's going to tell his boys, oh yeah, you see me throw that punch?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you're tough.
Yeah. You're crazy, man.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Yeah, no,
Take your shirt off.
And that's the thing but that needs to happen. If that gets fucked around with, this is where the UFC is playing with their next couple years.
Yeah.
Because people are starting to get fed up. But back to the UFC making a good moves. Dude, that 226 card on July 7th.
What's that one?
It's I can't even keep up with all the big matches, but right now it's Cormier, Stipe.
Oh, Stipe.
They got Max Holloway
versus Brian Ortega.
Yeah. I think they have another title fight. Is that Dillashaw? No. Maybe.
Dillashaw and
Garbrandt?
The rematch? Maybe.
Dude, they got it's so stacked. Like every time I go on social media, it's another big fight added.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit. So maybe it's like every year, how they have that huge card, and then by the end of it, we might get 2 good fights on the card.
Yeah. But throw everything on there.
But they're gonna throw 7 fights that you want to see.
Yeah, because I think they had.
Derek Lewis and Ngannou, Francis Ngannou.
Okay, yeah.
That's on that card.
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah, because they did that a few years ago, where they it was supposed to be like 5 titles defended, and then it wound up being like 2 by the time it was all said and done because of injuries and what have you.
But the last one they put 3 title fights on it was really good. That was the GSP Bisping, Garbrandt, Dillashaw, and Rose Joanna won.
Yeah, and that Garbrandt Dillashaw was such a good fight.
Yeah, that needs to happen.
I can't wait to see it again.
Yeah, but Dillashaw's pissed because he's rightfully so. I mean, I love Cody, and Dillashaw's kind of a douche, but he lost a razor nut hair decision to Dominic Cruz.
Right.
And he had to go fucking fight Lions to even get back into consideration.
Right.
Cody gets knocked out decisively and gets an immediate rematch.
Right.
But, I don't know. That's why you had to make the Demetrius Johnson fight happen somehow, some way.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah,
that needs to happen. The UFC said that is a go, and then something happened. I think DJ needed surgery or whatever, and then Cody got back in the mix. But I'm going to love that fight. It's great, but I can see where Dillashaw said that because he did. I mean, he lost a super close decision. I think they should have ran that fight back.
Right.
Him and Dominic Cruz originally.
Yes.
Because it was so close.
And it was good. It wasn't a boring fight.
No.
I mean, you can have a close fight that's boring.
No.
That fight wasn't boring.
If you watch that fight with the sound off, You might pick a different fighter each time you watch.
I always say that with Hagler Hearns. You just watch that fight, and every time you go, Hearns.
And the key is to sometimes watch these fights without the commentary. Because Joe Rogan, I love him, but he gets so enamored with the guy, and it doesn't matter if he's getting, wow, look how he's just taking that jab right to the face. Yeah. He's like a machine out there. It's like, no, dude, he's getting jabbed in the fucking face. Give the other guy just a little bit of props. Yeah. That was like the Stipe and Ngannou fight. Like, he was giving Stipe his due, but he was like still like hyping Ngannou. And then when it was all said and done, he sat back and he was like, oh yeah, Ngannou, that worked. Yeah. But it was like, Ngannou, look at his stances, and he's throwing those punches. Mm-hmm. And then it took him 3 rounds to be like, well, Stipe's really kicking his ass. Yeah. But he does. He gets like so on these fighters, and that's I think that's Joe Rogan, like in every aspect of his life, is he wants you to be on his team. Like, he's gonna drive it home. Yeah. You know, like, and blue is the best color ever. Blue is the best color ever. Right. You know, but he'll present it in his podcast like, hey man, I'm just here to just see what color's the best. Yeah. But I'm gonna have a bunch of people on here to tell you that blue is the best. Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Yeah. Yeah. He appears to be open-minded, but he is in his own echo chamber of. Yeah. He's trying to get confirmation bias. Yeah, he's trying to get you to like the Dallas Cowboys, and that's not going to happen. No, he's not. It's not going to happen. No, he's not. I listen to way too many podcasts of Joe Rogan and think he is not a Cowboys fan. He don't even know shit about football. I love and respect someone who doesn't know shit about football rather than a Cowboys fan, and we're not going to go there. But yeah, I don't know. When we come back. We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and talk Nicky Ryan or UFC first. Which one? We'll do the grappling first. Do the grappling first. All right, we'll be back. No, we'll do UFC first because we just talked UFC. We're still on UFC. We'll be back and we'll talk about something. Yeah, we'll talk about something.
Want more awesome video content? Search Gracie NEPA on YouTube today.
All right, we're back, and I think we decided UFC talk. UFC. All right. Got excited about Nicky Ryan. Yeah. So UFC. Which fight you want to start with?
We'll go with. Well, I'll just name a couple just quick ones, and then we'll get to the 2 main ones. Okay. David Branch, KO, first round. Aljamain Sterling looked sharp.
I didn't see that one. Yeah. That one I missed.
He looked sharp. Jim Miller, KO.
Yeah, by Hooker. Yeah. That Hooker's on a tear. Yeah. And you know what the coolest part, like that fight, he was like, bang. But how about him calling out Paul Felder while Felder's interviewing him? What's next for you? I want to fight you. Like, that's respect.
Man. I think that's one of the first times we've ever seen that.
That's balls. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, whoa. That was cool. I liked it. Yeah. And Felder took it in stride. He was like, hey, man, let's do it. The hands shook on it there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he was like, yeah, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love me some Paul Felder.
That was wild.
Yeah.
That was wild.
No, that was
and that would be a good fight. That would be like a really good fight. So I hope they make that.
What's next for Jim Miller? He's been fighting a while. Been in a lot of wars.
You know, and I think he's a fighter. He'll keep taking fights as long as he can. You know, yeah. We just said that about Joe Lozon. Joe Lozon. You know, I think he's at that same thing because Jim Miller's not a dumb guy.
No.
You know, he's got a very, very successful gym. He's churning out fighters and
great fighters.
You know, beyond the fighters, he's churning out like good grapplers and. You know, just kind of, so he's got a good thing that he can just say, okay, I'm done fighting. You know,
he could
if he wants to. Like we've seen some of Joe Miller's the Miller camp on the regional circuits. Yes, we've seen some of their guys, and they're fucking.
No, every time they have the cards at the Woodlands. Yeah. His fighters are usually the most professional looking.
Yes. Yeah.
And they have multiple fighters on each card. Yes. And they all look.
Really good.
And that's what I'm saying because he's such a nice guy, but does he stick around? Is he, where? Because he's not anywhere in the title hunt.
He's not in the title hunt right now. And, it's one of these things. He seems like he's one of these guys who just enjoys fighting. But at the point, at some point you go, okay, hey, listen, I gotta be done with it. You know, and every fighter reaches that point. Yeah. And it's obviously up to them. They can listen to their family and friends, but as long as they have the fire in their belly, they're gonna want to do it. So
that's for sure.
I mean, I'm always gonna watch a Miller fight.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing, like you said, a Joe Lozon, where he could come out and put on a fight of the night and be the best fight of the night. Right. Or he can be,
destroyed.
Get knocked out with a knee. Yep. So, and the Warrior, that's what, Joe Lozon, Jim Miller, hats off, man, keep going. one last one before we get to the two main. That Ricky Simmons, did you see that?
Yeah.
He choked the guy out.
Dude, that was.
But then
Simmons versus I'm gonna try to say his name. It's like Dillawalla Vishy or something like that.
Yeah,
like
the dude's last name.
Yeah, Dishwalla. I think it was a group back in the '80s or something like that. Like, so here's what I when I was watching it. Here's what happened. I saw Dishwalla took, and that's his name from now on. Dishwalla. Dishwalla shot, and I think he pulled a Gray Maynard. I think when he shot, he hit his head.
Okay.
And he flashed because when Simone hit him with that sweep, it was like uncontested.
Yeah, no.
And he swept him like uncontested, and Dishwalla was like this.
Yeah.
And then he came to, and he was like thumbs up, and I think he Gray Maynard himself on that takedown.
Yeah.
And he came up in the choke, but he was out.
Yeah, he was out.
He was out. That was like a Matt Hughes.
But he made the bell, and he was moving.
I don't think he was though. I think those legs going, like we've put people to sleep.
Yeah.
And you've seen them.
Yeah.
Like, you put them to sleep and they're like,
yeah.
They're like the bushwhackers.
Yeah.
They're going like this. And that's what I felt. I felt he was out. Like he was vacant.
It was crazy though. Either way, it was a weird.
Like I think he went out 2 or 3 times in that 35 seconds where he hit his head, he went unconscious, he got choked, he came to and went like this, and he went out again, and then.
Yeah, that was crazy shit.
I
don't know. Like I said, I don't know exactly what happened, and I watched it a couple times, and each time, like, I was like, no, he's good, and then other times I'm like, yeah, he's not good.
Yeah, go back and watch the takedown part of it. You're going to see, I think he Gray Maynard himself.
Oh,
I really do.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't know what Gray Maynard himself is, it means you hit your head on the floor and get knocked unconscious. And then you tell Joe Rogan you weren't unconscious, even though Joe Rogan shows you the tape.
And you're unconscious.
You're unconscious.
Unconscious.
You know I'm not unconscious.
Yeah.
No, there's the tape, dude.
And then now we have the two main card. Frankie Edgar off of a quick turnaround knockout from Brian Ortega.
59 days?
Something
It was
like
under 60.
Yeah, under 60
under
days.
60 days.
Yeah.
Which is, that's fast.
That is fast.
That's real fast. But he looked good.
And always looks good.
Yeah, he does. The difference between this and Cub Swanson 1.
Yeah.
Striking and grappling. The first one, he grappled. Cub Swanson didn't have an answer for Frankie.
No.
Couldn't stop the takedown. And I think Frankie won, was it like a neck crank? I think he neck cranked. I think he neck cranks Cub. But it was like just complete grappling domination. And this time it was complete striking domination.
Yeah. Frankie in
I mean,
and
Cub's
out.
always good. He's always going to hit you. But, like, I think Frankie's striking was better than Cub's.
Yeah. I mean, but that's his game now, and that's where his bread and butter has become, where if he needs to, he'll take you down. But other than that, if his boxing is getting off, he's just going to get in, out, use his angles, score points, and just decision the shit out of it.
And he did a lot of, like, where he went for the takedown to set up.
Into a strike, always. Yeah.
It was never grappling, he was never striking. He was always both.
Yeah. To me, he is the best example of what, if you were like, what should a mixed martial artist be?
Yeah.
His technique and his blending of mixed martial arts. Right. Like, there's guys who are better wrestlers.
Yes.
There's guys who are better boxers.
Right.
There's guys who are better kickboxers, better jiu-jitsu. But his weaving it together seamlessly is impressive. Where he can be shooting a takedown, come up, left hook, right kick.
Yep.
He could be 1-2 kick into a takedown attempt, back to a punch, back to a takedown.
Yep.
To where you're like, holy fuck,
Yeah.
you don't know where to go.
Yeah, you don't know what to do.
Right.
Am I defending the takedown? Am I defending the street? You don't know. I mean, he's confusing as a fighter.
But that's why Brian Ortega, I think, had his number, because he couldn't really blend his takedowns, because I don't think Brian respects his takedowns as much, because he doesn't mind if it hits the
Right. Yes.
He wants you to shoot.
Yeah.
So with Brian Ortega, you have to be more one-dimensional.
Yeah, for sure. And Ortega will beat you up from his guard.
Yes.
He'll beat you up from his guard.
Yeah, if he doesn't submit you, he's going to elbow your face.
Yeah, he's got a real old school guard. And then at the end of that, I don't know if you watched the post-fight interview back in the Fox studios, but Frankie said, hey, I want the winner of Khabib and, Holloway and Ortega. I want the winner.
Yeah.
Now, whether they'll give him that, who knows, but, hey, he's still in the hunt. He was number 3 going into this fight, so what's he now?
Yeah.
It's got to be 2, maybe.
No. Well, one, him and Jose Aldo don't fight again.
No.
That nobody wants to see that fight,
Right.
I believe. And yeah, I mean, Jose Aldo's been on a losing streak and still been keeping his contender spot
Right.
and put in place. Yeah, Frankie, right now at 45, there is nobody rising up
Right.
that deserves a shot.
So I think, whoever wins, Holloway, Ortega, that Frankie. And and he's got a massive fan base. So
Absolutely.
they're foolish not to make the fight.
Absolutely.
They're going to sell pay-per-views.
Yep. Yep.
Holloway's got a big fan base. Ortega's got a big fan base. And so whatever the outcome is, you're going to sell a fight for sure. It's a fight people want to see.
I like it. So you think he gets a title shot next?
I think he
I
does.
can't think of. I can't think of another
anybody else
45
who's gonna.
Yeah, I can't think of another 45er who's a contender
Right.
over Frankie.
No, definitely not.
Now, back to the main event. Kevin Lee beat down Barboza.
Other than for 4 seconds.
4 seconds in the fifth round with a spinning
Where he
head
did like
kick and a
that.
stanky leg.
Yeah, he was like.
Yeah.
He looked like Big Kev. He was like.
Right. He looked like a baby deer trying to walk for the first time. But he looked impressive. Missed weight.
Yes, but his striking was really impressive because up to this point, I think he's just been the wrestler. Suddenly, that wrestler guy.
Right.
And his ground and pound, man, he put damage on Barboza with his ground and pound.
Or is Barboza hit that tipping point where he's a one-trick pony? All he wants to do is spinning head kicks,
Right.
and if he can't spinning head kick you,
Right.
he's in trouble.
He's in trouble.
Because that's what it's been.
Yeah.
I think for all the fights he lost.
Yeah. Well,
if he can't, and he still got the spinning head kick off on this one.
and
But
Khabib did the same thing to Barboza, right?
Yeah.
He just took him down and just beat the tar
and
off
in the
him.
in the fifth round, he was still throwing spinning head kicks.
Right. Yeah.
So to me, you got to put him in against a guy who does not want to go to the ground at all, and you'll sell a nice hype fight.
Yeah.
But
You're saying Barboza.
Barboza, a hype fight. Yeah, you
right.
put him into a guy who's just going to stand and bang.
Yeah.
You have a great fight.
Right.
But as far as Barboza being a contender, he's become this gatekeeper. But the guys who are coming up are all grapplers.
Right. Yeah.
The Kevin Lees, the Tony Fergusons,
Yep.
and the Khabib.
Yep.
And they're just that's the paper cut to beat him.
To beat him.
That's their style is
Yes.
to beat his style.
Yep.
Because he is so one-dimensional.
Yeah. Yeah. Close the distance, take him down, and beat him. And when you put him on the ground, I mean, he doesn't have an answer.
No.
He doesn't know how to escape.
Hip escapes are bad. No get ups.
And again, I'm not saying I can get out from under Khabib or Kevin Lee, but at least I'm going to look like I'm damn sure trying.
Right.
Yeah. Like he didn't look like he was trying.
No.
He was that helpless. And just that was just a beatdown. And I think Khabib is next for that.
You think Khabib, Kevin Lee?
Yeah, because there's going to be a lot of jostling to get Conor to fight Khabib. I don't think it's going to be something that we see right away. So Khabib's going to want to stay fresh, and who are they going to give him? They're going to give him the lead. I think we're going to see Conor and Khabib, but I think there's going to be a stretch of it before we see it. You don't think so?
No, then that's fucking boxing. Then we're back to boxing where
Deontay
Wilder.
I'm not saying it's the right thing. I'm just saying that's what I see in my crystal ball.
Yeah.
You
I don't think so. I think Kevin Lee. I think Tony Ferguson is a freak of nature, and he gets healthy quick, and that fight needs to happen.
Lee and Ferguson? I'll see that too. I'd love to see that.
Because I think that would be a really interesting fight. Because the first one was a little bit hampered with the staph infection.
Yeah.
So he looked like a guy who had staph.
Yeah.
He looked good early, but he had nothing.
Yeah.
Round 2.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that fight needs to happen next. Because I can't think of another 55er either who is up in the top.
I'd see it. I'd pay for it.
Yeah, but that one, you can't put Kevin Lee against Khabib. I just don't.
I'm not saying it's the right thing, but
I don't think he's had enough. I don't think he's had enough tough fights
to warrant Khabib.
Yeah, Barboza. Obviously, we've seen Barboza is not the true test.
Right.
If you're gonna say, oh well, look what he did to Khabib or to Barboza and what Khabib did to Barboza. Yeah, but it seems like that's what people are doing to Barboza lately.
Yes, well that's the whole thing. Everybody who's fighting Barboza right now is doing that.
So I need Kevin Lee in a contender match against a guy well-rounded, a guy who's going to push him.
So you think Ferguson is gonna recover in time? Because they're not gonna let these two guys sit on the shelf. They're not gonna let Lee sit on the shelf. And they're not gonna let Khabib sit on the shelf.
I mean, 6 months.
Okay, well, are they gonna let them sit 6 months?
I would think. I think with the 226 coming up, that's July. That's 3 months from now.
Right.
So that's easy.
Okay.
Like,
yeah. So I mean, they could make it for
September, October. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not even 220. I'm saying 228.
228?
Because 226 is so stacked.
Right.
The one to follow it is
Gonna be a
usually
stinker.
yeah, like it's one fight. You know, it might even be a free Demetrius Johnson fight and fucking Ray Borg for the 5th time.
Right. Well, you can't because
He's fighting Cejudo.
You can't sell
Next.
Demetrius Johnson. Nobody wants to buy his
Because he's
pay-per-views.
beaten everybody
I know.
twice.
I know.
He's fighting Cejudo again.
But that's the thing too. That's that weight class. Like, I think he's one of the most technical fighters.
Yeah.
I mean, but people go, man, 125, man.
For him to be the GOAT,
I'd rather just see two women fight at 125.
But for him to be the GOAT, he's got to go up and challenge Dillashaw.
I'd love to see it.
Or Dillashaw's going to go to 25. Dillashaw said he could go to 25.
I don't know. Could he? I mean, he says he could.
He
but
says he
could
could. Well,
Yeah.
well, yeah. I even say catch fight. No belt.
No belt. Just 130. You
Yeah.
know? Yeah.
And let him go.
Special weight class, and they do that from time to time. You know?
Yeah.
And they do that from time to time when they do a special weight class. And
I think that to Demetrius Johnson, for him to cement his legacy, he needs to do that. He beat Cejudo again. You beat him already.
Right. Yeah.
You know, you're fighting guys you've already had the blueprint to beat the first time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, okay, I want to see a rematch because a guy might have improved and gotten better, but he's been so dominant for so long. It needs to be something where people are going to be excited to see.
Yeah, and it's not a super deep weight class either, as far as like numbers go.
Well, it's new, the newest.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of numbers in that. There's talent in that, but there's not. You look at 170, 185.
Right.
Like there's thousands of people you could be drawing from.
Mm-hmm.
Even on a regional circuit, there's not many 125ers.
No.
At least not with talent.
No, you're right.
You know?
No, I agree. But that's where if he's going to be considered greatest of all time, which I've heard people say, greatest of all time. Yeah. All the greatest of all time have or are willing to go up and down in weight class a little bit. GSP.
Yeah.
He went up to 85.
Yeah.
To me, before that, it was always suspect. Was he a true greatest of all time, or was he just bigger, stronger, faster?
Right.
Anderson Silva up and down.
Yeah.
Daniel Cormier, BJ Penn. Daniel Cormier going up and down.
Yeah.
So I think that's where we're going to see.
And I think that's what you have to do. If you're going to cement yourself as
the greatest
one
fighter,
of the greatest
martial
fighters
artist
of all time, you have to challenge yourself in different weight classes.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yeah.
So let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk Nicky Ryan. But I want to touch on Matt Serra right at the start of the next segment. He's going into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
Just announced yesterday. I think they announced
nice.
it. So we'll talk about that at the top of the segment and then get into Nicky Ryan.
Don't forget, head over to YouTube and subscribe to the Gracie NEPA channel today.
All right, back for our third segment. And last night, which would, by the time people watch this, would be Saturday night, but on the UFC Fox would be, they announced Matt Serra is going into the UFC Hall of Fame, the Pioneer Wing. The Pioneer Wing. He's one of the pioneers of mixed martial arts. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so, yeah, for sure. And he was never like the best all-around fighter.
No.
Like he always had holes in his game, but man, he would come to fight. And he would beat you, he'd find a way to beat you, and GSP learned that the hard way. He'd always find a way to beat you. And a nice guy too. Like awesome. I don't think anybody's ever had a bad interaction. I mean, I'm sure somebody has, but people like that I know are like, oh man, I met Matt Serra, what a cool dude.
Yeah.
Even interviews, like watching stuff on YouTube or whatever, like everybody just talks really highly of the guy. He seems like just a genuinely happy, cool person.
And legit, probably the first American jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah.
Like,
yes, because he
even overall, like even sports scene, any of that.
Because he was in that camp with he was in with Henzo, Rodrigo.
Right.
I think him and Rodrigo Gracie were like roommates for a while or something.
Yeah.
I remember Rodrigo talking about, but they were all in that like camp, you
Yeah.
know, and they were killers in that camp.
I mean, besides Steve Maxwell, but Maxwell never competed,
Right.
you know, at
Yeah.
any professional level. So, but Matt Serra was the first American guy who was legit jiu-jitsu. We've had the Matt Hughes who had good jiu-jitsu, but he was a wrestler.
Right.
This was the first American
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu guy.
Yep.
And he can scrap.
Right.
And he didn't mind scrapping.
He didn't mind throwing. Yeah.
Like we've had, there was other jiu-jitsu guys who came about, but they were more willing to just play the jiu-jitsu game.
Right.
He'll do it all.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
And he's fought everybody.
He's fought everybody. Multiple weight classes.
BJ Penn,
Yeah.
Shawnee Carter,
Yeah. Yeah. He's fought.
Din Thomas.
He's definitely put his time in.
Yeah.
You know, and he was good. I think his greatest opponent was Pasta. You know what I mean? Like, he should be 155, and I think last night on the TV he was like 225.
Oh my God,
I mean,
yeah.
like he looked like, you know, he chewed the Willy Wonka bubble gum right
Yeah.
before he went out there, and he just kind of waddled out.
He was,
you know?
He's great on that, looking for a fight.
Yeah, he was like, yeah, I'm happy to be in the UFC.
Did you ever see Looking for a Fight?
I have never seen an episode
Oh.
with Dana White, him, and the other
The best.
knucklehead.
They had Nick the Tooth.
Nick the Tooth.
But
yeah.
Nick the Tooth left because he challenged him to a grappling match
Yeah.
and he embarrassed him.
I remember hearing about it. Yeah.
But he's great. He's fucking hilarious. Like every word out of his mouth is pure comedy gold. And
Yeah.
he's not even being funny a
He's
lot
just
of the
being
time.
him.
He's just, you know,
Yeah.
the best.
Yeah.
Absolute. Really good. He's
So, congratulations.
congratulations
to him, you know.
to him, for sure.
Let's get into Nicky Ryan beating Geo Martinez.
judge's decision.
Judge's decision. But
He did have the triangle at the end.
yeah.
And it was a good match throughout.
Yes. Geo came out and pushed the pace pretty quick.
Yeah.
Nicky kind of weathered the storm and ultimately wound up locking in the triangle from guard, transitioned
Yeah.
it around to the rear triangle, the back.
Inverted, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, anytime you go to the judge's decisions, you can make whatever case you want, but sitting back and watching the fight, I mean, I would have gave it to Nicky Ryan too.
Well, if the timer didn't sound, who knows where that triangle would have
right.
ended.
Yeah.
Because that was
Yeah.
towards the end of
Right.
the fight.
Yep.
Which is the only thing I didn't like about this super fight premise. I think they should have had, they need to have a conclusion. That's why the Eddie Bravo,
Is always good.
yeah,
I
somebody's going to get tapped.
I like the EBI rules because somebody's going to get tapped. Yeah.
Right.
Somebody's going to because when you say submission only, but judges' decisions after 15 minutes, then it's not submission only.
Yeah. Well, no, they had points in this.
Are you sure? Did they?
Yeah. I don't know about
No.
the super fight. I don't
They
know about
did-
the super fight,
it was-
but
it was-
the rest of the tournament
Yeah,
had
but this
points.
match was judges.
Oh, it's just yeah.
So you know, I don't know what your
But
criteria
no, but
is. You don't know what my
but here's the
criteria
thing.
is.
I don't think either one of them passed anyone's guard or anything like that. They kept sitting back for leg locks.
There was a lot of leg locky stuff,
Yeah.
which surprised me from Geo, because Geo's old school.
a little bit.
Like
But
he's a smasher. He's a you know typically he's a smash. Like when he went with Cummings,
Cummings, yeah, but
you know. But
they
you
say
watch a lot
Cummings
of his,
is the leg lock guy.
yeah, sure, yeah.
You
But
know.
you watch a lot of his matches. Like I mean, Geo Martinez knows how to bring pressure, and he's an old school guy. I don't know. You know, maybe he had a different plan. Maybe he just wanted to see how he matched up with Nicky Ryan and the Danaher Death Squad system of leg locks. Who knows?
Well, no, this thing happened with. But it all started with shit talking on social media.
Yeah.
With Gordon challenging him, and then Nicky challenging him.
Yeah,
and
but
then,
Gordon was under some type of contract obligation or something.
right, so he
somewhere,
couldn't.
right?
Yeah. But he was getting investors to put up money to a bet with Nicky beating him.
Okay.
So I don't know if that bet got official, but if it did, Gio lost some money.
Some money. Yeah.
So
And you know, hey, I've never been like a huge 10th Planet system fan or whatever. Just because of a lot of it I can't do because I'm old and crotchety and my
Right.
knees don't bend that way. But I like Gio. I think he's.
and his brother,
At,
Richie Martinez. He
Oh,
fought. He
yeah,
fought
yeah,
in
yeah.
the Boogeyman.
yeah, the Boogeyman. Yeah.
He
The
fought
Boogeyman,
in
yeah. The Freakazoid and the Boogeyman.
yeah.
Yeah.
He fought in the 8-man tournament
Okay.
of the Kensai too.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I didn't see the whole thing. I watched that match.
You
but-
watched that match, yeah.
Yeah.
But they is
Um,
from Marcelo won it all.
Won it all.
Yeah. Beast. Hard pressure. You look like Marcelo, just like with more athleticism and a little less finishability.
Yeah.
But it was impressive, man.
So what was your thought? You didn't think Nicky warranted a win?
No. I just think it's, judge's decision. It's always, I think
It's always left up in the air. Yeah.
I think if nobody taps, then Metamoris. To me, Metamoris is still the best. Metamoris 1 was the best grappling.
Yeah, because if you didn't tap, it was a
format
draw.
ever. Yeah.
That was it. We drew. Yeah.
Or do Eddie Bravo rules, where
Or
you
Eddie
start in
Bravo
a bad
rules.
position
And
and you work your way
I
up.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
That can go on forever, though. I think after like third overtime, it goes by quickest escape, I believe.
Yeah, he's got criteria.
Yeah,
he's
because
got
it could go on
criteria.
forever if otherwise.
Right.
You get 2 good black belts and they can just keep escaping.
Right.
We there all night.
Yeah.
Which I don't hate either.
No, but typically at some point you reach your physical breaking point.
But that's what I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see somebody like quit.
Right.
Just
where you're just like, I'm fucking
fuck
done.
this. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the thoughts on Nicky Ryan. I mean, listen. Now, and here's what I want to touch on Nicky Ryan, because you said social media. Like after this match, there was like Twitter and Facebook and all this shit. Like people giving Geo Martinez shit for losing to a kid, a teenager. You're like, oh, you lost to a kid. Fuck.
This kid ain't a fucking kid.
Every single one of you would lose to Nicky Ryan.
Absolutely.
Every single one of you.
This kid lives training, jiu-jitsu, leg locks,
Yeah.
everything. And he's been doing it for 3 or 4 years now.
Yes.
He's put in black belt time
Yes.
in a short amount of time.
Right.
He's crammed like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
He's the kid who gets his PhD in
The
3,
Sheldon
4
Cooper.
years. Yeah. Where
he's Sheldon Cooper. Yeah.
just feed
You
me.
know.
Feed me knowledge, feed
Right.
me reps.
Yeah.
And I mean, hats off to him, man. Yeah, I
Similar
agree.
to what BJ Penn did.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, where BJ did
Just
nothing
gonna
but train all day, every day.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you get these knuckleheads that go, I've been training 26 years.
Yeah.
And
You wouldn't tell me.
Yeah.
No, you
no, bro,
fucking
you
would.
haven't been training 26 years.
No,
You
man.
trained 26 years ago. You started jiu-jitsu.
That
and
was your first class.
You've trained 10 hours in the last 10 years. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Couple
But that's
open mats.
that's how these idiots are. Like, oh, you lost to a kid, haha.
No. Yeah.
No. And he's not a small kid.
No.
I mean, he's small, but I mean, he's not like a frail kid, is what I
No.
mean to say. He's not.
No.
He's in good shape.
Yeah, and I mean, he's had. I mean, what about all the guys that lost to him in the North American Abu Dhabi trials?
Yeah.
On his way to, I think he got a 3rd place finish against grown ass men.
Right.
So I mean, this isn't the first
No.
man he's beat.
No. And it's
So-
not the last.
No, it won't be.
It's not going to be the last. He's
Right.
got a long career ahead of him, And I think some of the social media is people who genuinely believe that in their head that they could beat Nicky Ryan because they're a grown ass man, and then I think the other half is trolls. We're just trying to get a rise out of people, and
It's the same
whatever.
people who, I mean,
It's the same
either
people who are going to post a flat Earth meme.
It's actually the same people though that think like they could beat Conor because he can't wrestle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, Conor's ground game, shit. I'll tap him like Nate Diaz
Right.
did, and it's like, no, dude, you won't. You're a fucking blue belt.
Yeah. I'll grapple with Conor McGregor. I'm not going to have an MMA fight with
No,
him.
that's what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
people would say shit like,
Yeah, we want to go to the gym, slap, bump, roll. I'll fucking do that all day, and I'll
Right.
twist Conor up. But I'm not going to go into an MMA
But
fight
most
with
of
him.
those idiots who are
You know?
commenting would get twisted up because his grappling is probably fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
Still,
it's still going to be probably purple beltish level, like Chuck
Yeah.
Liddell.
I think he's a
Remember,
brown
everybody
belt now.
used to discount Chuck Liddell's grappling, but
Oh.
then the rare occasions you'd see him grapple, you were like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Chuck knows how to grapple.
Yeah.
I mean, it was few and far between, but it was defensively good enough to get off his back, get back to his feet, and I think maybe Jeremy Horn was the last guy to put it on him on the ground, and that was 20 years ago,
Yeah.
and Chuck went, oh, I better learn some ground game.
Well, Bones Jones is a fucking blue belt.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's a difference when you're talking about MMA, jiu-jitsu, athleticism,
Right.
and explosion.
Yes.
Pays a lot. But to me, I don't. Connor's bottom game's pretty good. Chad Mendez.
Had a
You
hard
know,
time
had
with
him,
it, yeah.
had trying to choke him.
Yeah.
He put a lot of pressure on him. The Nate Diaz fight isn't a good example of that because he was knocked stupid.
Yeah, and I mean, listen, I don't care how good your grappling is. It's Nate
Right.
It's Nate Diaz.
And when he's on top of you, punching you in the face, sometimes giving up the choke is a good business decision.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah,
you know,
for
especially
sure.
if you're not a black, like he's not a black belt in jiu-jitsu, so he doesn't hang his hat on that.
Right.
He would rather get choked out than knocked
Then knocked out, yeah.
because he is a knockout guy.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with certain grapplers who, you know, they would rather get knocked out on their shield than ever tap.
Than ever tap. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And we said Nate Diaz, and it made me think of a story about Nate Diaz, because I think the Diaz brothers get, and rightfully so, a pretty bad rap a lot of times for being, you know, but I don't know if you remember this story or not about Nate going to a Hoist Gracie seminar. Do you remember? Does this sound familiar to you at all?
No.
So we were I don't know, Hoist and I were on the road, and we were talking about it over dinner. He had just done a seminar out there in California, and he said Nate Diaz came to it and, you know, paid, you know, and did the seminar with Hoist and everything. And throughout that was kind of like when he was first coming off the Ultimate Fighter reality show and everything. So he was pretty hot topic, and you know, guys were like, hey man, can I get an autograph? Hey man. And he was like, listen, this is Hoist's thing. I'm here as a student and blah, 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 blah. And I guess eventually, like, it got to be overwhelming, and he went over and he was like, Mr. Gracie, can I sign a few autographs? And guys are asking. And Hoist was like, yeah man, please, go ahead. And, you know, like, so it was like that level of respect that I think people forget the Diaz brothers may have for where they came from. Because they came up under Carlson Gracie Jr., right? Caesar Gracie. So they came up in that like lineage where I think they have a lot of respect for what they do, and what those before them did too. You know, like they're always like, you know, whatever. But I think they have a long-standing respect for the art.
Yeah,
that
I think
people don't take into account.
Yeah, I think they're guys who, you know, they stand up for theirs, like, and they respect theirs.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, rather than, but if you fuck with them, it's on.
It's on. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, they're a little bit of old school in that way, where
Yeah.
they got mad respect for the guys who came before them.
Yeah, absolutely.
But if you fuck with them, it's on.
Right.
So,
Yeah,
and
for
there's
sure.
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
For the most part, yeah, they do get a bad rap. I think some of their antics were a little crazy, because people were talking crazy about the Conor thing, but there were times when the Diaz brothers were legit fist fighting inside an octagon after fight. Fist fighting Khabib and his crew.
Right.
It's the same guy, Khabib, fist fighting Khabib's crew in the crowd and stuff like that. So it's not that crazy what Conor's been doing in the Diaz brothers.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Didn't they had a Strike Force battle too where it broke out in the ring?
that's what I was saying. No,
that-
Miller
Miller.
said something after a Jake
Big
Shield fight.
Yes.
And then they fucking
Yeah.
they legit threw punches.
Yeah.
Nick Diaz and Diesel Riggs, Joe Riggs, fist fighting in the hospital with fucking IVs.
Yes.
And, you know,
Wasn't there one where was it a Pride or somewhere where Henzo came flying in after a match and like kicked somebody? I'm gonna have to look into that. I think there's a video out there where like something went down, like Henzo comes flying and he like kicks somebody in the ribs or something. Like it's crazy. I'm gonna find it.
I remember Crazy Horse getting triangled in the back by Vanderlei's buddy.
Yeah.
You know, one of the shoot the box guys.
Yep.
So that was pretty crazy
Yeah.
shit.
That's a good video too.
That's
a good video. I liked it. Crazy Horse is a friggin' nut.
Yeah. The old Pride days.
Yeah.
I watched some Pride fights.
Yeah.
It
was
I
good.
missed those days.
Speaking of, didn't we promise a story about Frank Trigg?
The Frank Trigg
The
story?
Frank Trigg story?
It's alright.
Come on, we gotta tell
Do
it.
we have time for it?
Let's take a break. We'll come back
Okay.
and we'll end episode 5 with the Frank Trigg story because I think because it's great. I love it. I'll tell it from my perspective.
I'll tell it.
All right, back. Final segment, and we nearly dick teased them because we did promise this last week. And we nearly got through this episode without telling it, but I think that would be like a lackluster hand job for these guys.
Okay.
We promised.
The
we gotta
Frank
give
Trigg
it up.
story. Okay. This is 2008-ish, 2009 maybe. Arnold Classic, Columbus, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
We're there, me, a couple of my buddies, Sensi, Colarusso, for sure. The Jay, if you know Jay, this is important because he's with me. It's me and Jay. We're off walking. And this is the Arnold Classic, so this is the earlier days of the UFC, but there's a UFC that night. That's why we're actually in Columbus, Ohio to go watch the UFC that night.
That was a Couture.
Couture, Tim Silva.
Tim Sylvia.
Tim Sylvia.
Yeah.
That's great. It was so good. But yeah, so we're at the Arnold Classic. We're just getting into the place, and I see Frank Trigg. And I go, holy shit, that's Frank Trigg. And I go up to him, and nobody else notices him. He's not really that big at this time.
Not a popular fighter.
He's not a, yeah. And this was when he was doing the Pride stuff, though, so I recognized him. I watched Pride, Pride pre-tape, him and Jake Glazer. Was loving it. I was like, all right, cool. So I'm like, hey, yeah, Frank Trigg. Totally, like, big times us. I go, could you mind if we get a picture? He goes, yeah, why don't you come up to my booth in a little bit, I'll get you. And he, like, turns and he just starts talking to some hot chick. And I'm just like, wow, what a dick. So, whatever, Frank Trigg's a dick, you know? Or he was in a hurry, I don't know. Now that in hindsight I feel a little bit bad. But later on, we're walking around, perusing.
Frank Trigg's a dick.
He is a dick. But anyways, we're walking around and lo and behold, we see Frank Trigg. He's at a booth. And, you know, he's talking it up to some fitness models and stuff. He's kind of being the big shot, you know, whatever. And he walks up and, you know, Jay's behind me. And I walk up to him and he thinks like I'm going to ask for a photo or I'm going to ask for a handshake or an autograph or something. But I go, hey, Frank Trigg, how's your choke defense coming about? And he goes, pretty good. How about yours? And I had a Gracie t-shirt on. I go, pretty good, bud. And I kept walking. So... very well Frank Trigg probably could have killed me. If you don't know about Frank Trigg has been like rear naked choked in every single one of his major fights that he's ever had.
Yep.
But he is a fucking savage. He would have killed me, no doubt.
But is that a bad part of the story? Like, what's the worst thing that happens? You get to tell a story where you got beat up by Frank Trigg? Right,
that would have been so worth it back then. And it was a crowded place, so like you said about the tough guy at the bar, like, I knew he wasn't going to be able to maul me to death. People would have broken up. I'm hoping Jay would have kicked him in the head or something. But, or somehow, some way, my jiu-jitsu kicks in and I triangle Frank Trigg in a room full of fucking thousands of people.
And everything. Yeah,
that would have been great. But the best is Jay Colarusso, like, literally shitting his pants, because he did not know this was coming. I didn't say I was going to do this, but I just asked Frank Trigg how his choke defense is coming along, and the look on Frank Trigg's face was both shocked and surprised. He was not ready for that one. It was crazy, because he, like, turned to me with a smile, too, because I don't think he remembered me from earlier, but he, like, he was doing his whole shtick, like, hey, I'm Frank Trigg, and I was like, hey, Frank Trigg, yeah, how's the choke defense? So, yeah, Frank Trigg, not too happy. But yeah, fuck him.
Fuck Frank Trigg.
Yeah, fuck Frank Trigg.
Love it.
Yeah, it was a good time. What else? Anything else?
I don't think anything else came out of that we can talk about.
No. But I did meet Rashad Evans that day, and I also put Jay on blast because we were talking about Rashad Evans earlier, and Chuck Liddell was the champ. And I go, man, that guy's going to beat Chuck Liddell someday. And he goes, no way. Long story short, he became champion and then later on dusted Chuck Liddell. And I told him that day. So Rashad Evans, if you're out there, what's up, brother? Hit me up. Let me know. But I told him, I go, man, you're going to be world champ.
Hit him up in the DM. Slide into Tyler's DM.
Because at the time, Rashad Evans came off with the Ultimate Fighter show as a heavyweight. And then moved to 205.
Moved to 205 afterwards,
And then moved to 85. But, I love me some Rashad Evans. He's a good dude. He was a good dude. He signed and talked to us, so...
A lot of these guys are.
No, they are, yeah.
A lot of them are. There's a lot of dickheads, too.
And that's what I say.
A lot of really nice guys, too.
We saw so many people there, like the Shoney Carters, and like we got pictures with everybody. Everybody was so cool and appreciative. Because this was also, you have to understand, MMA was very new in the mainstream at this time.
Yeah.
This was like the first ever UFC in Columbus, Ohio at the time.
Yeah.
It was still like in the dark days a little bit. And for a guy like Frank Trigg to fucking big time,
yeah.
You're like, fuck you, dude. You're like, I don't even really want your thing anyway. I didn't really want a picture. I just recognized you, But he was like, I'll do it later. Yeah. Fuck you.
Yeah. Dude, I was similar. I'll end it with this because we had to give that story. But you were talking about nice guys, big timers, whatever. Did I ever tell you the story about running into Kurt Angle?
No.
Literally running into Kurt Angle.
No.
Yeah. So it was we had gone to Disney World. It was like our 10th anniversary or something. We're down in Disney World. So this is a time where like Kurt's big WWE, right? So we're going through Epcot, you're doing your thing. Everybody at Disney's doing your thing. You're looking at your phone, whatever. Right? So we're going. Boom. I mean, like, boom, shoulder to shoulder, right? I look up, because I'm at chest level with whoever I just ran into, right? I look up, and he's looking down. I'm like, oh man, I'm sorry, I ran into you. My fault, I wasn't paying attention. Right? Now, as we're conversing, it's going, this is Kurt fucking Angle. Like, in my brain, it's going, he goes, oh no man, that was my fault. He goes, I was talking to the kid and, whatever. And I'm like, all right man, yeah, have a good day. And you can see this look on his face like, this dude knows who I am, but he's not saying anything. So I'm like, have a good day. Hey man, you have a good day too. We part ways, ships in the sea. We get about 10 steps away, I go to Tracy, I said, you know who that was? I have no idea. I said, that was Kurt Angle. She goes, why didn't you ask him for an autograph or get a picture or something? I'm like, no. The instant I asked that dude for a picture, I'm like, he's here with his family. He's just trying to be, he had the hat on and everything, like,
right.
Like he's trying not to be Olympic athlete Kurt Angle,
right.
And I'm like, I'm not going to be that guy that ruins his fucking day. No way.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'll never forget it. It was like this. Boom! I'm just like, oh.
And his fucking neck is like the size of a waist.
I was just like, if he fucking barrel me and fucking suplexes me in the middle of Disney World, this is going to be awesome.
I wish
would have been a better story.
Yeah, I wish that happened.
Yeah, it would have been all over TMZ, Kurt Angle suplexes Vern Troyer.
Yeah.
So, alright brother, I'll see you.